WCGF here with another local match. I'm going to be taking on James. He's using his orange Retribution Krillin. I get to whip out my Android 19 Red Ascension. Have I ever talked to you guys about my little theory about a lot of those Set 7 masteries? You know, they were powerful and versatile, yes, but there is something about them that always makes me think that they were in fact made for lesser characters. There's just a lot of things about it, that Red Ascension, that reminds me of 19's Power Suite. There's just something about it that always brings me back there. Just like how, you know, obviously Radiant was best for Slug, you know, that kind of thing. So my thought of the matter is just that Android 19 would benefit from this one. By the way, I do win the roll. I do get to go first. I've drawn a hand. Looks like I did not get a good set of cards. I put away Red Antidote, Red Surround? I forgot the name of that particular card. Put away that block. I held on to something there. And it goes back over to James. He gets to begin his first turn. He did get to resolve his drill, and I honest to goodness cannot see what he pulled out. There's entirely too much glare from the fluorescence where we're at. I hope you guys spotted that when he pulled out for his orange Retribution turn 1. Oh, James sometimes spends a while debating what to do next. So one of the things here that's actually kind of a neat thing for this matchup is that Android 19 can go really physical, you know, offensive, and keep stages drained from especially the energy users like Krillin. Anything prior to Orange Retribution, this would have been fairly simple. Okay, so James does declare combat. He's confident enough, so I don't blame him. So I drew an early game terrible hand. I have 3 dead cards. And I take Krellin's energy attack, and James at this point should probably be under the impression of just how little offense I'm going to be able to give throughout this thing. So I do use my 19 level 1 power. So he has to pay the extra 1 stage because of 19's level 1 power. Obviously, next thing I do, if it connects, if I get a hit on anything, it does critical damage. That's why basically you can't wall breaker level 1 19. Eventually he's going to hit you with something. Okay, so James is going to go ahead and poop out a drill here. Or he's going to use... yeah, okay, so it was Possession Drill. So he draws his 2 cards, and he should have a dead card of drill to drop. He does not. Now he's going to have to go ahead and drop something he needs. 2 of some things he needs. So me at this point, I'm deadlocked. I'm not going anywhere in this fight. Like I said, I got me my 3 dead cards. I'm not going anywhere. If I remember correctly, I basically end up taking half a deck's worth of damage. He ends up throwing down Orange Eruption, shockingly, and Shoulder Slam. 2 very unexpected cards to be dropping at this point. Oh yeah, you guys remember that? Krellin's power says whenever anybody drops a card next, he gets to raise his anger 2 levels. He forgot to activate that one. Okay, he does pay an extra stage from his orange left burst, which is another card. It's fine. It's perfectly acceptable. I just think that a lot of times it's a little much. Okay, so I do manage to wick off most of the damage without getting utterly destroyed. So kind of neat, I guess. He has no style drills to be able to pull for the Banish Zone, you know, none of that stuff. So far, I've just taken a monster series of hits. I have a red shoulder grab is what I can do. Problem is, I basically have to wait. Okay, so I did end up passing. He ended up masterying and getting up to level 2, and he's going to go ahead and activate the Mastery's effect to go and shuffle and pull out a drill. So you guys are probably seeing at this point some of our critiques of the Orange Retribution Mastery. Like we had said, I don't think Orange is going to need much of anything for a long time. I think Orange Retribution takes pretty much every shortcoming that Orange was ever going to have and deals with it. Stage Lock did it. Mastery, Focus, Anger did it. Early game assurance of pulling a drill out regardless, got it. And of course, let's not forget the fact that it can push in drills and push them back. To me, I want to say everything I just described needed one of those less. It literally deals with everything. Why ever play a different mastery with Orange at this point? I don't know. You got me. Okay, so he's pulling out a drill, and I'm sorry, the glare is too significant. I did not get to see what he did. He is now level 2, and he has a pretty significant energy attack rolling with this particular guy. So I might sound salty, but that's just because I am. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take a brutal hit here. I'm going to go ahead and wick off a lot of the damage, and then I'm going to go ahead and discard a card from my hand. I end up dropping... See, that was a bad and dumb idea. I really should have held on to that drill. I guess I would want to hold on to that visiting the past. It's like, everything in my hand is great. I'm just reminding him that I didn't... Like I said, I didn't draw a hand of blocks or anything. I just drew a hand of dead cards, that's all. So I guess my plan at this point is to end the combat with 3 anger by throwing... when James hears out of moves, throw a red shoulder grab, mastery. I do mastery. Apparently, I'm trying to do the plan. Oh, my other red glare. So it does make him skip. It goes back over to me. I throw a red shoulder grab, and I better cut his deck. He's going to go ahead and stop an orange refocus, raise his anger 1 level. No drills to target because remember, everything has kind of blown up in his face because possession drill didn't let him drop another drill. Okay, combat finally ends. I actually didn't take a whole lot of damage. I do end up ending the combat, and I don't know why I went with that. Every choice was wrong. Every choice was wrong. I should have had the drill or visiting the past. Red glare is neat. It ain't worth it. I could actually grab it again. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to do one of my manual required triggers at the end of combat with Red Ascension. So Red Glare was a card that James had forgotten because it didn't see a whole heck of a lot of play in the set it came out in, and that doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, I pass Rejuvenate a Red Chop, I power up a little bit, and it is now James's turn. Tell you what, guys, if you've ever paid attention to James' games, he will within the first 3 turns draw a Wall Breaker, and he will have time either in his initial hand or in his second hand. That was his second hand, if you guys didn't notice. Oh gosh, okay, James super confident here. He's going to go ahead and initiate combat on a less than stellar hand. But Possession Drill basically is hand sculpting at any time you need it. It is powerful. He is going to open up with Orange Eruption. I get to lower my anger 2 levels. He gets to raise his 2 levels. And I'll take 2 life here. Not bad at all. Oh, I think I've forgotten what that card had done because that is real silly. Okay, so I do stop it with time. So I don't take any damage this combat, but a fat lot of good is going to do me. I'm not going to anger up anywhere. I'm going to Red Ascension, Banish. It is a red style. He skips. He goes back to me. I throw a red glare on him. For those of you who don't remember, anytime he raises anger anything more than 1, I reduce it to 1. And he has no means to get it off of himself. Not even a little bit. Okay, he masteries up and does not level because, as you know, that 2 anger became 1 anger. I throw a red Furious Lunge. Oh, hey, this is actually a neat little opportunity. We talk about interactions between things. You guys remember those cannot be stopped by cards? Sorry, we stopped the game. Sorry about the little feign. We literally spent like 15 minutes researching this because we said, wait, Panini did tell us this is like a specific interaction. Yeah, we looked on, we said to making Hand Burst, Red Fierce Lunge, like none of these cards, none of them work. None of them actually go through time. Even though it would seem like they would, it's because the definitions that we ultimately don't really make it into a rule book. I remember they called them novel interactions. But anyway, it's because a floating effect such as time does not actually generate a style of any kind. Floating effects have no styles. So they're outside of the classifications described on Hand Burst or Fierce Lunge. Okay, I throw Sword Stab. It's stopped by James' time effect. Raise my anger. James is going to keep pushing up with this. It's like this, you guys. If you think about it for a second, if I had gone with the red... I forgot the red drill already. I always forget the name of it. It's so super easy. But if I had gone with that early drill, the one that I had drawn from that one bad combat, if I held on to it, he couldn't lower my anger. I'd already be level 2, and it would be a little bit different race at this point. So, yeah, I haven't been doing this very smartly. Okay, so that combat ends. He ends up with not being able to raise his anger enough, so he ends with level 2 with 4 anger, still poised to be able to do much of anything he wants. So at this point, any move I do, I could rocket off this one if I went to combat, but apparently I'm not happy. I'm going to pass. I'm going to put the Red Awakening card, is that what it's called? And it goes over to James. James is a pretty good idea. He's going to declare combat. You know, you guys would never see the day where a Krillin could be this fierce, this consistently aggressive. And there's the wall breaker. There it is, fellas, where we talked about this. Oh yeah, it was somehow, believe it or not, guys, we're C to C, so Krillin did stage damage. I 19 power, because remember that says essentially I'm going to crit him if I lay a hand on him. And don't tell me an orange eruption. Oh, he masteries up. Okay. So he's going to go ahead and mastery. He'll go up. It's going to be great. So, believe it or not, guys, I remember complaining like the saltiest. What did we say? There's the Dead Sea. Oh, gosh. So, wait a minute. James did not level up there. He decided to save the mastery move. Hey, take a look at this. I throw a red power rush at him. Look at how much stuff happens. So remember that? Red power rush, because I have 3 or more anger, cannot be stopped. It's got critical damage immediately because of my 19 effect. And because of red hot, my next attack gains hit, lower their anger 1 level. So I hit him as hard as I possibly could, and I still managed to not KO Krillin. Shockingly ridiculous. I patently refuse to believe it. So red power rush got me out of a bad situation, basically saved me from my own bad decision making. Interesting. Okay, he's going to throw an orange precise shot at me. It is going to go ahead and hit, and I'm not going to run into any notable endurance. Okay, he's going to use the search effect of orange precise shot and go ahead and search and destroy it. I'm not actually sure what he would look for. My deck has a lot of redundancy built into it. It's really hard to actually hurt me, like, you know, this kind of thing. Oh, he noticed that the deck got shuffled up and down. I had gotten this particular deck back from a friend of mine, and that friend had, you know, shuffled it and everything got half up, half down for the cards. That is an instant loss in a tournament setting. Hilarious. Okay, so he gets to gain stages off of Captivity Drill. Is that the one? Is it Captivity Drill? Okay, so he actually gets to get 2 anger out of the exchange because it actually happens at 2 different times, is the way that he would be using that. Like I said, guys, I'm no expert on the orange drills. I don't really get a lot of those instances of how they're pushed in and out and how they, you know, can leave play, come back to play in the same action. Okay, I go ahead and mastery, banish the red. It's red. I finally get to level. See, here's the thing, you guys. I would be approaching level 3 at this point. You know, if I'd be able to keep the correct pain train rolling. So this is the one that charges up from being hit. And then I made him skip. I throw Android 19's choke. It does attach to Krillin immediately, raises my anger 2 levels. And if it hits him, it would be 5-stage physical. So whenever he gains stages, I get to gain a stage. Believe it or not, guys, this is a little experience I have with this deck from the time that I built it to the time it went to a friend and the time it got back to me. It's choke falls off when I hit 0, not when my opponent hits 0. If my opponent hits 0, it would be beyond useless. Okay, he is going to go ahead and mastery, hit 5 anger, change levels, go to level 3, be able to shuffle in all of his drills and pull him out again. Okay, he's noticing something here. He's lining me up with that giant death blow that is Krillin's level 3 energy. You know what I'm talking about? It's a good way to die. So I only have 1 card left in my hand, and I do not believe it is a block. So let's see what James chooses here. If we've been discussing broken stuff, I'm not really sure. cards. Okay, captivity drill is going to go ahead and go back. And I get to throw his level 2 energy attack that does a few stages, and then of course increases James' next attack damage. Power stage cost by 1, so that it can potentially cheat him out of it. Potentially. So, you know what, you guys, this is one of those, again, moments where we have to make a bit of an observation. You're realizing that without literally constant pressure, Orange Retribution is just going to run for level 4 fast as anybody could ever throw it. Oh, he does throw an Orange Rage at me, and I do run into some mild endurance. It helps me to wick off the damage. It's not the worst. Oh, yeah, I forgot his drill lets him gain stages, so I get to gain a stage every time he does it. I get to raise my anger again 2 levels, and I'm going to hit him with another 5-stage physical. Should be leaving him as 1 above 0. Now, I'm pretty sure James took it into account by paying that extra cost. You know. Oh, the mastery, I forgot. We basically had, it lowered his stage requirements to 0 plus 1. So this is one where, guys, on all honesty, we sometimes play late at night. The taped matches sometimes happen later, and I'm going to be honest, sometimes I didn't pay enough attention. As far as what's supposed to be going on here, we were just talking about how James had pumped up with the mastery, lowered the cost to 0, and then my level 2 power, because it hit, increased his stage damage cost, stage cost for his energy attacks. So it was like, he gained 3... He throws a Krillin's, what do they call that? Kamehameha, new card. That's going to be some Fan Z action. Hits me shockingly. Hits me for literally everything. Oh yeah, remember that? I took a Krillin's Kamehameha to the face. So that makes both of my attached cards fall off because I hit 0 from its effect. So, someone basically, it's a neat little idea. It doesn't just do 10 stages, it just does whatever you're at. It's just a knock it to 0 kind of thing. It's kind of neat. Why did I raise myself power stages for taking life card damage from that Kamehameha? Huh? Oh, good. I remembered. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes I forget the events of these sorts of things. So I actually have 3 stages from taking 3 life card damage. Alright, and he waited, he saved that level 3 power for the whole thing, and he hits me with everything. I found every card in my deck that has no endurance. I get to get crit, and then combat ends. I raise my anger to 4, and I get stifled at 2. You gotta love it. Got to love it. Okay, it's finally my turn. I've been blasted to smithereens. I don't even know how I'm still going here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. And I did this slightly out of order there. I did power up my guy. Wow. Took a long enough to get here. I'm going to go past Rejuvenate Physical Block, place a red relaxation into play, which can help to even out a lot of things. Okay, and then James is going to draw a significantly dead hand. You know, guys, just for a split second, I'd actually considered forcing him into combat right there. He would have drawn 2 dead cards. It would have been a real interesting little fight. It would have been Red Antidote. Oh, if I'd got that when he still had all my chokes on and every red glare and everything, I could have pumped up 3 anger in 1 shot. He ends his turn. He goes back over to me, and I should get enough effort here to be able to go ahead and pressure him. Okay. See, and I'm going to go ahead and do this. Activate Red Relaxation. Use it to knock down his anger with level with a critical damage effect. Draw the bottom card of my discard pile. Raise myself 2 stages. James draws his cards in response, and then it's going to go ahead and have an opening. I need to level. I do. Okay, I go activate Red Ascension Mastery. Banish the top card. It is styled. I'm going to raise my anger 1 level. I am level 3. So at this point, despite the fact that this is not my favorite match of the evening, and the fact that I kind of just got my rear end kicked the whole way, I'm at level 3. I'm not even like horribly behind in anger. I had to shoot him in the leg in order to get him to slow down long enough. Okay, I'm going to throw Red Free. Cost me 2 stages to throw Red Freezing Beam. Remember this one? This is where I get to go ahead and pull out my, is it What's the name of it? Red Tactical Drill. I don't know why I think it's something to start with an A. So it raises my anger 1 level. Wait, how did I... Oh, darn it. Look at me. I didn't even raise my anger 1 level for the effect of freezing. Ow. It's going to go ahead and hit me with Orange Fierce Attack, and it's going to lower my anger 2 levels, which I don't have. Raises anger 2 levels, turn off my endurance. That's a little too strong for a common. Okay, he's going to go ahead and level, because you remember there are 2 separate instances of this particular attack, giving him the hit effect after the initial attack. He's going to go ahead and push in 2 drills, keep 1 drill, and my apologies. I've got to start checking for the hotness of these fluorescent lights, turning these cards to white rectangles. Okay, so he's going to go ahead and push 2 of them in, keep 1 out. And look, guys, I know I botched this because like I'm supposed to have 1 anger from the effect of Freezing Beam. I have no earthly idea how I forgot that. That's on me. Mistake acknowledged. Okay, I'll throw a red right cross when I should actually be at 3 anger. Doesn't make any dang sense. Okay, this one's going to go ahead and connect with the red right cross. Do some significant, decent damage even. Okay, we're debating the fact that none of us remember the physical attack table. Part of the reason, guys, in case you don't know, when you have a minute, when you are sitting on the toilet or you're at work, like mine's just getting numb, I want you to take a minute and go ahead and pull up the last physical attack table in Score Z. We're talking like for the end of it, like the end of the Majin saga, the Fusion saga, something like that. When you have a minute, go ahead and pull that up. And that attack table goes out to the letter I. That's how many stages there are in that game, how many different classifications for things. So sometimes I feel like I complicate it unnecessarily. Okay, he takes damage. He's going to fire out a... it's not a pinpoint blast. I forget the name of this one. But it's a big energy attack. And he's already turned off my endurance. I can't lose any anger from the critical damage effect, so that doesn't go anywhere. Okay, so he's going to go ahead and use the effect of Captivity Drill again, raise his own anger from it. From the hit effect, he's going to pull out a drill. And remember, now that this one is in play, he gets to choose when his hit effects resolve. He's going to go pull out the other drill that gives you your attacks hit, raise your anger 1 level. Okay, so just like we said there, raises or lowers a player's anger on a hit effect. So he basically had to choose which order his hit effects resolve. He resolved the attacks effect in order to have that drill out, and then resolve it with this hit effect. So it's right at the edge of the rules, but it all still works, still legit. Oh yeah, he's just making sure I took that amazing huge blast. Did I just lower my anger with red tactical out? I think I'm going to have to stop trying to set a record here for most missed triggers and nonsense. Yeah, just count me as 3 anger, because remember, I still didn't raise my anger off of that red freezing beam like a dope. Okay, I do throw a red shattering leap, where this cost me a bit of a stage, and oddly enough, we're still in roughly the same category for power. That'll make no darn sense. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and attack. We'll work out the stage damage. It's a 6 power stage physical hit. Ain't too bad. James is going to go ahead and pump up his mastery, hit 3 anger. And I hit him with it again, and I believe that our stages are now different. The base damage is going to be a tad better for the Shattering Leap. Though 650,000. Though I'm half past dead at this point, so I don't know how the heck I'm still kicking. Yeah, I hit him, didn't do a lot of damage. I was hoping to KO him. Somehow I managed to not get him dead enough. If he's got anything in his hand, any other moves left, he can go ahead and shoot it off. Oh, he's going to take his damage from Shattering Leap. Yep, there it is. It was like 9 power stages, and he ain't even... And he ain't even going to take critical... Oh, he does take critical damage. Okay. I misremembered the end of this attack here, the ultimate result. So I critted him. I got 2 stages from it. And then knocked down his anger 1 level. Yeah, hit him with red double blast. I get to remove any... I want to say a style card or any card in his discard pile. You know, I know why I kept this card in the deck, but it may end up becoming something else in the near future. Said I had a vision for this deck. I just need to get back to my bare bones. Ah, there it is. He stops me with the orange Omni. No, he used it to stop an attack. Stop an energy attack. Okay, he takes a little bit, very minor amount of stage damage from the 2 shots of it, 3 stages apiece. Okay, I have no cards left to do this. The combat ends, it goes back over to James, and he does go ahead and declare combat, doesn't matter what he has. And here's a funny story for you guys. He technically could have killed me either way. He drew a combat ender, blinding energy.